This is John with John's Pool Service. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things, and one of the things we're going to talk about is your control panel for your salt cell for those that have a salt chlorine system. Sometimes these flashing lights mean something to us and sometimes they don't, and we're going to talk about each one, and so I can explain to you when your salt system needs attention and when it doesn't. So I get a lot of calls from new pool owners about their salt chlorine generating system, particularly some of the lights that they see inside this box. So we're going to open it up and talk about some of this stuff. This number that it presets to, that's your average salt reading. Okay? So right now we're at 26, which is a little bit low. We will adjust that and put some salt in it. When it gets down the normal range, if you look on here, it'll tell you the salt level should be 27 to 34. Normally we'd be at 26 to 34. This is a little bit low, but we'll adjust that by adding 1 bag of salt. All right, your power light, it's always going to be on anytime there's power. If your power light is not on, there's probably a problem with the board. Your generating light is going to come on when it's generating, when this control box is telling your salt cell to make chlorine. So it's breaking down the salt into chlorine to chlorinate the water. Superchlorinate, if you see this superchlorinate button right here, okay, if you watch, when I push this button up, that light comes on. All right, when it's in the superchlorinate mode, let me turn this back off. When it's in the superchlorinate mode, it gives you 100% for 24 hours. Okay. That's just an automatic thing. It's like shocking the pool. Superchlorinate, it automatically gives you 100% for 24 hours. And after 24 hours, you can come in and put it back to auto. No flow. Okay, there's a couple settings. There's a couple settings you can have. If we turn the pump off, if you notice, the red light comes on. If it's solid red, that means there's no flow detected through your system. Of course, there's no flow now because we have it turned off. All right. If the light stays red, then that's a problem. All right. You need to contact a pool professional so they can evaluate what the problem is. Check salt. Usually your check salt light will come on. Let me turn the pump back on and to show you something else about the flow. If you notice, the flow light's solid now. We'll turn the pump back on. Now it's going to start blinking. Okay? When it's blinking, that means it's detected flow, but there has to be flow for a certain amount of time before it'll let the salt chlorine generator turn on. Okay? After, see, it already went off and the generator light come on. Your check salt light is blinking. Well, the salt level's low, so it's supposed to be blinking right now. All right, so that's just the indication, exactly like it says, check your salt. Now usually that's an indication that it's too low. If it's too high, you have a high salt level. All right, so that'll light up. Your inspect cell light, it will come on when there's a problem, but it's also every, I think 500 hours, it's designed to come on automatically. All right, so just because your inspect cell light is on or blinking does not necessarily mean there's a problem. Okay. One way you can reset your inspect cell light, if you hold this button down for 3 seconds, you notice that light went out. Okay. Don't just turn the light out if there's a problem, but I'm just trying to explain to you that there's not always a problem if it's on. It periodically comes on automatically. All right. In this case, there is a problem because the salt's a little low, all right, which is indicated by the other light that's on. All right, this button right here, all right, when you're adjusting your salt, you're going to take a salt reading and have test strips poolside. Okay. Anyway, you're going to see what your salt level, your chlorine level is. Okay. Let's say your chlorine level, you're set at 70, chlorine level is high. All right. All you're going to do is kind of dial that back about 10 or 15, depending on how much you want to reduce it. Okay, let it run for a day or so, you know, and retest it. You know, if you're set on 70 and you're barely getting the salt reading, okay, you might want to turn it up about 10 or so. All right, you let it run for 24 hours and recheck it. So this is to adjust how the percentage of time that your salt cell is actually converting the salt to chlorine. If you want more conversion, turn it up. If you want less, turn it down. If it's 100 degrees outside, it's going to be higher. If it's 60 degrees outside, it's going to be lower. So it all depends on the weather conditions, the pool size, the cell size. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Higher the number, the more chlorine the salt cell is going to convert. The lower the number, the less it's going to convert.